Hey home cookers, my name is David Raine and I'm 43 and I live in Philadelphia. Today I'm going to do a little spin on the shrimp and grits sort of idea. Since this is an American show, shrimp and grits is a very Southern American dish, but I'm going to do something a little different. Right now my water's boiling for the grits, so I'm going to start off there. Pour that in, give it a nice stir. Let that heat up for a second. I'm going to start adding some seasonings in a sec. So, going to add a couple of seasonings to the grits. This is actually this great wine and garlic pepper that I got at this place called the Melting Pot when me and my fiance were out for a date night and we tried fondue. Anyway, so this is what's going on. A little salt there. That was salt, pepper, wine, garlic, and herbs. I'm going to stir that, and then I'm going to put a top on that and let it cook slowly. You can already smell. Okay, I'm going to introduce my favorite toy, one of my favorite toys in the kitchen. This, Willem and Sonoma, this here is an egg poacher. So in my bachelor days, I spent a lot of time with a bunch of ladles and boiling water splashing around, half eggs getting like steamed to death until all the whites were spread out. This right here is so perfect. You just put the egg right inside the cup. You season it how you want it, you cover it, and the water boils it very slowly to whatever temp you want, whether you want a soft yolk, hard yolk. It's awesome. Right, so one of the reasons why I picked shrimp and grits is because every time I've had shrimp and grits, I've loved it. I've fixed it, and I love it. I've tried it other places. It's great. I've always wondered why no one added egg, because it's a morning thing, it's a brunch thing, and egg, shrimp, and grits just sound great. I don't know if many other people do it. I've never had anybody do it. It's usually shrimp and grits. But what I started doing was, since I found my trusty poacher, I started poaching eggs with shrimp and grits separate, and then I started messing around with other ideas and new ideas. Basically what I do now with the poacher is I put whatever protein that's in the meal, I put it inside and let it cook inside the egg inside the poacher. So that's something I'm pretty sure is pretty new and not done much. So right now here we have fresh shrimp. Now the seasoning is something interesting too. I like to switch up a lot of different things. I'm interested in a lot of different cultures. American, Asian, Indian, African. So the flavors that I have are usually pretty pumping because they're like mixed with a bunch of different things. And then there's this mix. See this cool little shaker here? My fiance got this from Japan. It's a mix of, I mixed the mix. So they created a pepper mix, which was different spices and different herbs and then different like chilies that they ground up and created a pepper. But then they also created a salt version of that. So I took the salt and the pepper version, I mixed it together inside of this. So usually this is my like one hit gets it all thingy. So I usually use this for that. So we're going to dash some of that on top of the shrimp. It's really cool because it's like tapping a pipe of tobacco out. There we go. That's tight. A little bit of thyme on there. Tad bit of salt. And I don't really do measurements, I just do feel and smell. And this is just regular pepper because really a lot of people wonder why would you use pepper if you use different chilies or different peppers. All of them have a different flavor. So sometimes combining a regular black pepper with a chili pepper is awesome. It's not overkill, depending on how much you do it, how you do it. Alright. So we got the shrimp in there. We're going to let the shrimp cook in the cups. Cook in the cups. I like that. Cook in the cups. Let that happen for a bit. That'll be a minute. Our grits are cooking over there, so we're almost good. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm just going to use all the shrimp up in the 4 eggs. It'll be a hearty dish. Jar. Make it even. I don't want people complaining about giving less. Alright, so there's that. We can also sprinkle a little bit of the scallions because there's nothing wrong with that. Even though we're going to put some scallions on top at the end too. There's nothing wrong with that. Not at all. Okay. That's that. Cover this up. We're going to let that cook for a few minutes. And then I'll show you how to pour the eggs on top and what it's all going to look like in the end. Be right back. Well, what I wanted to say was that cutting wise, I suck. but that's all good because that's what sous chefs are for. I'm an ideas man. So I come up with the ideas, I come up with the ingredients, I come up with what it's going to look like, what it's going to taste like, what it's going to make you feel like, and I have somebody else chop the prepping, and then I put it all together. So I did chop these scallions, and I did chop the shrimp, but I'm not a super chopper. I don't think I need to be a success in the kitchen. I think my family, my loved ones, my fiance, and my friends love my cooking in the kitchen. So yeah, that's it for that one. Alright, any cook worth their salt knows that a kitchen gets very hot. So I tried to be all fancy with my Oxford in the beginning, but I'm stripped down to my natural tank. This is how I cook. So I'm dropping some butter into the grits because they are ready, but I want that butter to be strong. I don't want it cooked into the grits, so that's why I put it last, just while it's hot, and let it melt in there, like it is so. Okay, so that's melted in there. Now let's take a look at our shrimp. You see the shrimp is getting that pink and it's starting to curl. It's not, ooh, sorry. It's not quite done yet. Cameraman, hold on, cameraman faux pas. It's time to add our eggs to poach with the shrimp and the scallions. Here we go. Nice tap there. If you notice, the yolk stays on top. It starts to cook immediately. You see the whites forming. I can actually turn this fire down a touch. Here we go. That egg's gonna be chock full of loveliness. Shrimp. Num nums. And the last one here. Okay, now for this top we do a very simple salt and pepper. We like lots of flavor in our family. Always throw your garbage away. Also, I'm a clean cook. That's one thing. I think I'm the cleanest cook in the family. As I cook, I clean. So that whoever has to, one of the rules is that the person that eats the food has to clean up after the person that cooked. So I usually make it easy for the person that has to clean. It doesn't always happen that way for me. So I choose to try to cook as much as possible so I don't have to clean as much. But I like to keep things nice and nifty. Is it nifty? Is that the word for clean? I think it might be. Anyway, either way, it's closer to God. Alright, so we're almost there, almost complete. The eggs are just about ready. The grits are ready. I like to layer brunches. Did I say that this was a brunch anyway? I think I did, because I said shrimp and grits. So yes, it's a brunch. But we're going to layer it. Basically what's going to happen is the grits is going to be our bed. Then we're going to have like a cream spinach, like a cream garlicky spinach. And then we're going to have the poached egg on top of that. So right now we're going to turn on the fire for our wok. This is actually my second favorite pan in the world. I love a wok because you can do anything with the wok. Anything. You can just throw crap together and create a dish, or you can make a stir fry from scratch. You can just do all kinds of stuff. That and a griller. I got lots of pans I like. I like a griller too. But anyway, here we go. Turn this one on. A nice medium heat. We're going to let the pan get hot before we put anything in there because I'm going to use a chili sesame oil. This stuff burns off fast. So you want to utilize this as much as possible by not burning it up before you even add the ingredients of the dish. So, okay, so this is what eggs look like as they're poaching in the poacher. And what you can do, you do a light tap on the yolk to see. Some of these are pretty much getting to that part. I personally like semi-hard. I like a little bit of the yolk pouring out onto the dish. So these look like I can turn the fire off and let them naturally finish off because the fire is going to cause it to overcook. So fire's off. That pan off. Just a liner. Usually the sesame chili oil is for adding oil, but it's mostly for the flavor of the oil itself. So for cooking, you know, you don't use it as a straight up cooking oil. Alright, here we go. Oh, Drop that shrimp in there. Drop that spinach in there. We're gonna leave the one that fell for the invisible doggy that we're not gonna get until we're done renovating the house. That's gonna be a lucky doggy. Leftovers from this house? Please! Take another peek at the egg. See that? Isn't that purty? Ain't that just purty? Okay. For the last minute, I need a spoon. I don't want to use a spoon that's going to rake up my... I don't want to use that one either. I'll use the tongs because they have a rubber tip. No, they don't. The tongs downstairs have a rubber tip. Spatula. Okay. Woo! Just smell it. So, as far as competition, I mean, we know I'm the most creative chef, home chef, I think, that ever lived. This is just playtime right now, doing this poached egg with the shrimp stuff. You should see some of the stuff I do. If I could be walking down the street and just imagine something, and I'll go home and cook it. You know, or I'll go to a store and I'll see something I've never seen before. For instance, I was in a grocery store a couple of years back, and I had never seen razor clams. And I looked at them and looked at the price. I looked at how they're shaped. They're literally shaped like barber razors from, you know. And I took it home and made one of the best seafood dishes that I think we had ever had. And it was the first time. They were perfectly cooked. I don't know. It's just a sort of instinct that I have. And I love challenges. I love challenging myself and trying new things. Trying new ingredients. Okay. Alright, so we're going to let that cook a little bit. I think I could sprinkle some garlic on that too. Can't ever have too much garlic. Keeps the vampires away. Takes care of the bloodstream. You know what I mean? Ooh, that's smelling good. Let me bring it up to the camera so you can smell it. You smell that? We're going to plate. I think I have showed you who I am as a personality in the kitchen. Definitely down for the competition. I definitely know that I'll be one of the tops. I'll be remembered. And initially, the whole idea of even getting curious and involved with Food Network is because I always had this idea of doing a show about dudes that know how to cook. And when I say dudes, you know what I mean by dudes. The meaning of dudes. Not guy, not, you know, male chef, dude that knows how to cook in the kitchen. So I don't think many dudes are addressed on the Food Network. Remember that. I don't think too many dudes are addressed in the Food Network. So let's see whether we can have a shout out for the dudes. Okay. Now you have your egg sitting on top of that. Put a couple of scallions there. There we go. See, it's becoming almost like a Raine hollandaise. Pick it up so you can see it from the side. Ready? Break into that. And here we have, it's a soft yolk, it's not runny, but it's nice and moist and soft. And then we have chunks of shrimp ready to be devoured. Let's try that together. At this point, you don't care if it looks messy because it's all going in the same place, right? Now that's what's up. I think I'm the king of brunch. Nobody can beat it. This is the best brunch you'll ever taste. The best brunch you'll ever see. That's it. If you want more of this, call me. Thank you.